and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Well, today's video is another collaboration. I've invited some of my YouTube buddies to answer 5 questions about their channels. I've really enjoyed listening to their answers and I hope you will too.
Megs, thanks so much for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it. I think this is going to be fun. Your first question, what is your channel about? Well, I garden in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and I garden organically, polyculture style, mostly raised beds, but I have some in-ground, some towers, trellises, other things. I grow about 40% of what we eat, and I'm self-sufficient in garlic, onions, herbs, winter squash, and probably some other things I can't think of off the top of my head. And I'm also an avid seed saver, so you'll see seed saving come up repetitively on the channel. Question number 2, why did you start your YouTube channel? Well, I started it for the garden community that exists around YouTube. You can talk to your friends, you can talk to your neighbors, and they'll be polite and they'll listen about your garden and maybe have a little bit of interest, but mostly they kind of glaze over if you talk too much garden. Here on YouTube, you can talk garden as much as you want, and people just want to talk more about it. So, the community. What is one of the biggest challenges you face or faced running a YouTube channel? Well, it's the learning curve. I got myself a Mac, so that was learning a new operating system. Editing software, I went with what everybody told me was the bomb, but I didn't really like it at all. But the iMovie editing software that comes loaded with Mac was much more intuitive to me, and it was free, so yeehaw. And then now I have a new mic, so I'm in another new learning curve. So I'd say learning curves. Next, what was a real high point in your channel's life? Well, for me, that was the first short that I did. It was about cherry picking. And what made it a high point was it had views rack up so fast. Like in the first few minutes, there were 70 views. And I was so pumped because I created some content that people really thought was interesting. And, I've had a few more do even better than that since, but that was a high point. I'd have to say I was really jazzed that day. Can you share a future plan for your channel? I sure can. Al and I are going to replace the cinder block beds that were our first garden beds of the raised style in the yard. And it's probably going to be with metal beds. So that's going to be quite an undertaking.
My channel is all about gardening on our 2 allotment plots here in South Wales. Glorious sunny day today, so it's a lovely day to be down the allotment. We've got this plot here, and then behind us over there is plot number 2. And this one we had last June, and the one next door we had in November. So we really enjoy it down here. And I do some filming sometimes at home, but probably not enough of it at the moment. Well, I had no intention whatsoever of starting a YouTube channel. And I'd already started watching Danny, that's Danny from the Grow Up channel. Started watching it and enjoying it. And he said to me, why don't you start a channel? And I no. And he said this so many times, I thought, oh, well, I'll have a little practice. I'll have a little practice. So I sent it to my friend, the little clip. It was only a little clip. And she sent it to her mother. And her mother said, more, please. I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a go. At least I've got one fan. So that was the start of my channel, and I do enjoy doing it. The challenge I find of running a YouTube channel is all the time it takes, because you've got all the extra time of setting up the camera, putting it in different positions and whatnot, you know. And then, of course, you've got all the editing. So for a little 10, 20, 30-minute video, you know, it takes a long time to edit all that. And I think people that don't have a channel don't realise really all the work that does go into it. But having said that, I love it all. I really do enjoy it. So yeah, it's great. I think the highlights of having a YouTube channel is having Danny as a friend, and it was great meeting him. And the high point of having my channel was probably Malvern, meeting all the other YouTubers at Malvern. It was so lovely because you watch their videos. When you get to know them, they're such lovely people, and that was so nice. And I like the ongoing friendship of not just people, not just YouTubers, but people on our allotments as well, and the lovely friends we've made that sometimes appear in my videos, and they're lovely. And our plot neighbour Cheryl, I got to give her a mention. She's so lovely. There's Cheryl and Dale, they're a couple, and I keep saying Cheryl, but Dale's lovely as well. And other people, other friends we have on our allotments as well. They're all lovely. So a plan for the future. Well, we've got the polytunnel to erect on plot number 2. That's the next major plan we've got, and we're hoping to do that maybe, hopefully, this year, you know, by the new year. But if it does get done till the new year, it doesn't matter, because we've got this polytunnel here, so we're lucky we've got the one. And another plan for the future, especially next year, is to do more gardening at home. So to film more at home, because if I start filming more at home, I know I've got to do my garden, because at the moment it's just so neglected, it's unbelievable. So yeah, I do plan to do more at the home garden next year as well. Thanks for inviting me on the collab, Mags. I've really enjoyed it, and thank you to everyone that watches my YouTube channel and comments and subscribes, and I love you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning. Mags had asked us to do a bit of a collaboration on some questions that she had asked, and I will try to answer them as quickly as I can within 2 minutes, because you know I love to ramble. So my channel, what is your channel about? My channel is about me just puttering around in my garden. It gives me something to do since I've retired, and it gets bigger every year, but we're trying to downsize. That is not working. I started a YouTube channel basically because someone said, can you show us your channel? And then Danny at the Grow Up said, why don't you start a YouTube channel? And if anybody started a YouTube channel, you know it becomes rather addictive. So thank you, Danny, for the encouragement, and thanks a lot, Danny, for the encouragement. The biggest challenge we have in doing a YouTube channel, I think, for me and a lot of people, is equipment and learning how to use equipment. I am terrible at technology. I worked in the technology industry for 20-something years, and I still don't know how to put a thumbnail on a video. I got carried away with buying equipment, so now I'm stuck with a whole pile of expensive equipment that I don't really know how to use, but I'm trying, and I'll hopefully learn a bit more over the winter. Sorry, I'm looking down because I wrote notes. The high point of my channel, as corny as it sounds, is to make people happy watching my channel, and I'm not here to tell anybody how to grow or how to do anything in their garden. I just hopefully entertain people, and we have fun talking back and forth with each other about what we do in our yards. Future plans for the yard? Not really anything. So future plans for the channel? Not really anything. I like the channel the way it is. I don't have any huge issues with doing just gardening. The cooking part, I don't cook, so I know that sounds odd for a woman that doesn't cook, but Gerald does most of the cooking in our house, so I grow it and he cooks it. So hopefully that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'm pretty much an open book if you wanted to ask, so ask away. Have a great day, and thanks again, Mags. Have a good one. Bye.
I am Bethan from Bethan's Kitchen and Garden, and thank you, Mags, for asking me to share some of the details about my channel with you on this collaboration. So I believe you sent me a list of questions that I'm going to answer. So your first one was, what is my channel about? Well, my channel is about growing veg, what I do with that veg, so how I process it, what I make from my veg, the wine I make from my fruit that I grow. Basically, my channel is really about anything to do with the veg that I grow in the garden, the fruit and veg that I grow in the garden. Why did I start my YouTube channel? Well, before I had my children, I used to be a videographer, so I would film dance shows and make promos and film weddings and anything really that people wanted me to film, I would film. And when I had my children, I didn't do as much work, and the cameras were getting more and more expensive. So because I wasn't doing as much work, I didn't have that creative outlet. So I decided that I would make my YouTube channel and make my videos that way. But also, I fell in love with gardening, and absolutely nobody near me really likes gardening. So I had nobody to talk to about the garden and what I was doing in the garden and how exciting it was to grow veg. And so I wanted an outlet, and that's why I joined the YouTube community, because we all like chat and, you know, enjoy sharing what we get up to in the garden, and we get lots of good tips from other people, don't we? My biggest challenge in running a YouTube channel, I think that's got to be to keep going when nobody is watching your videos. That has got to be quite hard to do. And also finding the time to film the videos, because you want to film them in a way that is accessible for everybody. And then sometimes when nobody watches them, well, not nobody watches them, but, you know, they get very little amount of views compared to some other channels. That's quite hard to keep going. But I have done so far anyway. The real high point of my channel life, that has to be a couple of weeks ago, where I did my first live show. And I was really nervous about it. And I was only expecting about 5 people to watch it. But I ended up with maybe about 40 people watching that evening. And I was so blown away by the support from people. I was so appreciative that people had given up their Friday night to come and listen to me rambling on about presents you could have for Christmas if you're a gardener. So that has got to be the highlight. And then future plans for my channel. Oh, I don't know if I should tell you this. All I'm going to say is my garden is going to drastically change in the next year. So hopefully you'll stick with me and see what changes are afoot. So thank you, Mags, for asking me to share with you. And take care, everybody. And all I can say about this is a lovely job.
Hello, so I am Gemma from Gem in the Garden. Mags has asked me to take part in her video, which I'm really excited to do, and she's asked me 5 questions. So number 1 is, what is my channel about? So my channel's about me and my allotment and my garden and growing food, growing vegetables, growing everything that I can on my allotment and in my garden. So question number 2 is, why did I start a YouTube channel? So I started my YouTube channel because I got the keys to my allotment. When I got offered the allotment, the first thing I did is I went onto YouTube and started looking at the best way to do things and how to set up an allotment and all the different things that you do when you get your keys to an allotment. And as I just got my keys, I thought, why not video what I was doing, and it might be helpful to someone else. And it's just gone from there. It's just grown from that first day when I got the keys to my allotment. So question number 3 is the biggest challenges of having a YouTube channel. I think for me, I've got a young family and I've got quite a busy life, as we all have, and I do find it hard sometimes even just to come down to the allotment. So with the filming, and then Vince, if you know, he does all my editing, so he's on my channel quite a lot because he helps me a lot. He's my husband, but he's also the editor and he helps me down at the allotment. So we try and fit it in as we can, but sometimes that can be really, really challenging. So question number 4 is a high point in my channel's life. I think hitting the 1,000 subscribers was really a high point, because when you first start the channel, you don't actually know if anyone's gonna watch it. And when I got to that 1,000, I think that was the real like milestone, because I feel like that's sort of what you work towards when you first start filming and you start a channel. You want that 1,000 subscribers, so that was definitely it for me. And question number 5 is the future plans for my channel. So I'm just going to let it evolve as I have been. So I've got a lot of different things on the allotment now. So when I first started, I didn't have anything. I've got a polytunnel now, I've got a mini polytunnel, I've got a fruit cage. So I think it's just as and when I change things on the allotment, that is what I will be filming. I have been filming a lot more in my garden as well, because I've started a vegetable garden, a very small like 2-bed sort of vegetable patch in my garden. So I'm filming a lot there. I do some things at home. I started things like making cider and things like that. So I definitely want to add more things in, but it will just be more as and what I'm doing and when I'm doing it for the future of my channel. So thank you so much, Mags, for inviting me to take part in this, and I'll see you soon.
So my videos are predominantly about gardening. I grow fruit, veg and flowers in my 1/6 of an acre garden here in central Scotland. I also keep chickens, aka the dinosaurs in the title of my channel, and they frequently appear in the videos that I make, and I also make videos specifically about chickens and chicken keeping. And I also keep quail and bees, so they feature in their own videos as well. So why did I start a channel? Well, there's probably 3 reasons actually. Firstly, I thought it would be useful to have a sort of chronicle of the things that I do in the garden, so that I can look back and see what has worked and what hasn't worked, and learn from that going forward. Secondly, I find having a channel is a great motivator. When I know I've got to produce a video for some reason, maybe I've promised it to my viewers, or maybe in a collaboration with other YouTubers or whatever, you know, you've got that pressure to get things done, and that also means that I get things done in the garden. And the third reason I started the channel is because I wanted some form of creative outlet, and I don't want that to sound too sort of ooh. I like the idea of making videos and the thought that goes into that, and the editing of the videos, and the creating of the thumbnails and the marketing of my channel and so on. So yeah, that sort of creative side of things I enjoy, and that was another reason for me starting the channel. So what's the biggest challenge then in having my YouTube channel? Well, that's got to be time. I work full time, and even although most of the time I'm working at home, I still have to put the hours in, and I still have, I have a full-time job that takes my attention, my full attention when I'm doing it. So that obviously just leaves evenings and weekends. In the summertime, that's not quite so bad, but in the wintertime, you can't really get anything done in the evenings. So, in the garden that is. So yeah, so time is definitely a big challenge, because of course, yes, I work full time, but there's life as well. It's not just work and gardening, although sometimes it would be great if it was. Yeah, but there's other things to try and fit in as well. So yeah, time is the main biggie. And that's sort of compounded a bit because we moved to this house 2 years ago, and the garden was just an overgrown mess. You'll probably see in my earlier videos here, There was trees that were dangerous and had to come down. There was ivy everywhere, shrubs, brambles, you name it. And it is 1/6 of an acre, so it is fairly large. And I mean, I've still got a long way to go. All that's quite exciting in a way as well. But yeah, it has taken some taming, and that in itself takes time. So a high point in my channel, or running my channel, I think it's the buzz that I get when I discover somebody that I didn't know was actually watching my videos say, oh yeah, I watch your videos all the time, or oh, I saw that video and I found it really interesting or useful or whatever. And that can be work colleagues, it can even be relatives that, you know, I've had cousins when I haven't talked to for a while, and I talk to them and say, oh yeah, we keep up with you because we watch your channel. And I think I really get a kick out of that. So that it gives me, you know, high after high, if you know what I mean. I don't think I could point to any specific happening and say, oh, that was a real high point. I think it's just this knowledge that actually people are interested. I've not got a huge number of subscribers, but it's increasing. And I just, you know, just having that recognition that, yeah, we are enjoying what you're doing. Future plans for the channel? Well, lots. To name a few, I'm going to be putting a pond in. I miss not having a pond here, so I'm hoping I'll do that over the winter months, depending on how hard the ground is. But I'd like to get a pond in. I also need to sort out the composting. There's 3 huge compost bays that were pretty much full when I moved here, and I've sort of managed to top them up even more, and I really need to clear them out. But I also have 4 or 5 of the sort of Dalek compost bins, and they're regularly filled up, a lot of the time with bedding from the chicken run and the quail runs. So yeah, I need to get my head together and think about a better way of dealing with all the sort of stuff that I have to compost. So that's going to be a challenge, definitely. And yeah, because there's still quite a few areas of the garden that are untamed, I'm going to be reclaiming areas that are maybe covered in ivy or whatever at the moment, and make some more space for some more beds, be it beds for shrubs or beds for fruit, veg and flowers. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed listening to what everyone had to say about their YouTube channels. I know I certainly did. I've put links to the channels of everybody that was on this video in the description of the video, so please look that up, and please, if you haven't watched any of the videos produced by these YouTubers, please do. I'm sure it will enthuse you enough to make you want to subscribe to their channels if you aren't already subscribed. Anyway, that is enough for now, I think. Please, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear what you thought of this video, and if you have a channel, please, it would be great if you would answer the questions that the YouTubers in this collaboration have. Answer them in the comments so that we can all hear about your channels. For now though, I'll call a halt and say bye bye, see you soon.